Today we are talking about EMP money. Price per coin, 75.5 cents. Coins in circulation, 15.471 million. Market cap, $11.6 million. Average trading volume per day, about $400,000 worth. Percentage of circulating supply, coins traded per day, 3.45%. Number of wallet holders, 1,359. Average tokens per wallet, about 11,384. Average wallet holders' assets worth, about $8,600 per wallet. Total value locked as quoted on the website, $12.6 million. I'm not 100% sure on how that is possible unless they are locking up other coins as well, because that is more than the entire market cap of the entire project. The worst APY that you can get with EMP money, 200.78%. The best APY that you can get with EMP money, 4,500%. Now you're probably asking, what is EMP money? So it is essentially a fork of Tomb Finance, which is on the FTM blockchain, but it is on the Binance Smart Chain. Now this is an absolutely astronomically huge protocol, and there's a lot for me to get through, but I do want to say really quick, stick around because I'm going to drop a bomb in this video that I think a lot of people are really going to like. It's going to be worth sticking around for because I'm going to be asking for your feedback on it, how you're feeling about it, and all of that good stuff. So it will be somewhere in this video. I can't tell you where, and this is not a ploy to get you to watch the entire video, but if you want to, go ahead and stick around and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You will probably find it exciting because I get a lot of requests on it. So this is essentially a decentralized algorithmic stablecoin protocol on the Binance Smart Chain that is pegged to ETH at a rate of 4,000 to 1. So that means 4,000 EMP tokens to every one ETH token. This is actually legit because I checked it, and if you go and you do the math, you'll find out that it's pretty close. At 75.5 cents per coin, and Ethereum being at about $2,981 per coin at time of filming, this is 3,948 EMP per ETH. That is within 1.3% of what they're quoting, the 4,000 to 1 ratio. So with that being said, that's pretty close to how much stable coins fluctuate. So this protocol actually has a lot of different moving parts. It's pretty complicated. There's a bunch of different coins, a bunch of different pools, and there's a bunch of different ways to make money, which is a good thing and also a bad thing at the same time. So you can bond, you can stake, you can buy nodes, you can be a part of their farming pools, you can do referrals, and we're going to go over all of this in length in just a few minutes. So I've seen a lot of this in the DeFi space. They're touting their protocol as one that runs on game theory, which a lot of people think sounds really smart, sounds really innovative and intuitive, right? Which I disagree with because it is a absolutely basic economic principle. Go to Economics 101, you'll learn about game theory. Essentially what game theory is it means if this, then that, if that, then this. It's a very basic strategy, and the whole point of it is that it's a mechanism to maximize utility in a very efficient way. Now, how does that work whenever a bunch of investors want their ROI, right? Because you're not necessarily going to maximize utility whenever everybody's looking out for themselves, because what game theory assumes is that everyone is working together and they're maximizing utility together, not only for themselves, but for everybody else that's involved. In crypto, we know that's not a thing. So luckily they have a mechanism inside of their protocol that takes care of this for everybody, and it takes all the emotions and everything out of it. So when EMP price is over the peg, new EMP is minted by the protocol to inflate the supply and attempt to drive that price back down to the pegged price. Those new EMP are placed into circulation through this thing called the boardroom, and then they are distributed out to the EShares holders. This increases the demand for EShares and increases the value and the price of EShares. So on the opposite end, when EMP price drops, the exact opposite happens. The protocol allows for minting of E-bonds with EMP up to a particular maximum debt limit. So this actually removes the EMP from the total supply, applying upward pressure on the protocol, and that's all in an attempt to drive the price back up to that peg price of 4,000 to 1. So then the E-bonds can then be redeemed once the vesting period is done for EMP, and this would be at a premium once that pegged price is reached or above. That's essentially how you make money with EShares and E-bonds, but we'll talk about that more in length here in just a minute. So the essential utility, which I totally understand, is to help get exposure to ETH and its trajectory to smaller time investors that might not necessarily want to have that much exposure to ETH. The reason I say this is because ETH is at like $3,000. Some people don't have $3,000 to just hold an Ethereum coin. And those people will not be exposed to those high ETH transaction fees if they want to transfer, do anything on the blockchain, etc. And that is because EMP is on the Binance Smart Chain. Now, with this being said, EMP is absolutely 100% not collateralized. I want to point that out. I want that to be 100% clear that it is not collateralized. It is not the same as a USDC or a stable coin where there is a 1-to-1 ratio, or in this case, a 1 to 4,000 ratio of every single coin that's in circulation. So what that means is there is not one ETH somewhere in the background to collateralize every 4,000 EMP tokens that's in circulation. So just be aware of that. Now, with all that being said, how do you make money with EMP? So you can stake EShares in the boardroom and you can earn EMP at 1,390% APR. Now, the total EShares that are staked is like 4,464. That is $2.785 million worth of EShares that are staked. This means that the APR on this would have to pay out almost $39 million over the next year. Then you can stake in these three pools, and spoiler alert, that is not my company. There was this other video that I filmed on, I think, Contextia Finance, where they KYC'd through some KYC firm called something Wolf, and it was like really weird because I was like, that's not my company. I don't want people to think that that's like my company, and I'm like shilling them because it's my company and stuff like that. So disclaimer, I am not Yield Wolf, but pay attention because that might be a little drop of a hint of what I might be talking about somewhere in this video. So Auto Vaults is their auto compounding protocol, and that's how you get the APYs through Yield Wolf. So every set amount of minutes, it harvests the eShare that you've earned and sells a proportion of it. Now, the proceeds are then used to mint more LP tokens on PancakeSwap, and then those get put back into the auto compounder. So the three different pools are as such. ETH-EMP pool, that gets 530,000% APY at 0.51% per day. There's $923,000 staked in that pool right now. And this means that $5 million is paid out per year at current price. And that's if everybody compound. Then there's the BNB eShare pool. This one has a 4,495% APY, so absolutely astronomical. It's a 1.13% per day. There's only $561,000 staked in this pool right now, but that means that there's $25.25 million paid out if they actually achieve that APY, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. Once you start talking about these crazy APYs, like, you've lost me. I'm not putting my money into that. And then there's the EMP eShare pool, and that one is about 200% APY. So a lot more manageable. Now, you can bond your EMP and receive an E-bond. Then you can redeem that E-bond once the vesting period is up, and then you will receive EMP back. Then another way that you can make money is to purchase nodes. And there's a bunch of different tiers. I'm gonna try and run through them really fast because at the end of the day, this is gonna be a long video and I don't wanna bore everybody and then like make them all go cross-eyed, right? So first off, there is the Nano, and it has a 276% ROI. It costs about $376, and the ROI per day is 0.76%. Then we have the Mini that comes in at 305% APR. It costs about $753, and it has a 0.83% ROI. The Kilo is at 335% APR. It costs $1,500, and it is a 0.92% daily ROI. Then we have the Mega, the 368% APR. It costs about $3,000 and it has a 1.01% ROI per day. Then we've got the big dog, the Giga Baby. You know how that goes. It's 405% APR. It costs about $6,000 and the ROI on that per day is about 1.11%. So even the high ones are a little bit more manageable. Then you've got the Detonator pool. This is EMP-ETH LP. You can only earn 365% APR on this, period. So that means no matter how long it's in there, no matter how much you earned, no matter how much you got in referrals, that 365% of your initial deposit is all you can earn, and then it goes to zero. So this makes people compound and roll their rewards in, so that keeps the protocol going, and that's actually a really good idea, and I like that. If you earn 365% and you achieve that, then your share goes down to zero and you have to make a new deposit. So that's what makes people roll their rewards back in. So the ways that you can make money on this are like fourfold. Burst rewards, then there's instant rewards, then there's the daily largest like investor prize, and then there's the entry into the actual daily reward drawing. Now, if you win, make sure you claim, because if you don't claim, they take your rewards from you and put them back into the pool. So you literally have like 24 hours. Now here is the pool distribution. 90% of the payout per day goes to the rewards pool. 6% goes to all of the depositors based on the total deposits. And then there's a 3% that goes to the referrers, and then 1% goes to the treasury. For the referral program, you get a 3% referral bonus for anybody that uses your link. That's not only on their deposit, but that's anytime they roll stuff back in. Then the last way is you can deposit into the farm liquidity pools. So the first one is the EMP ETH liquidity pair. That is 186% APR. The total value locked on this is $4.4 million. Then there's the EShare BNB liquidity pool, and that gives you 387% APR, and it has the second highest total value lock at about 1.6 million. Then there's the small guy, the EMP EShare LP. That is 107% APR, and the lowest total value lock, which is less than $150,000. Now, honestly, to be real with you, the liquidity pools, I don't think that they're that outrageous or the returns on them are that outlandish, but they're bordering on that, right? So my bias is those percentages need to go down in the future, but if the protocol can sustain that, so be it. Now, what is EShares? Because I've been saying that a lot. I know everybody's like, what is that? So the market cap at the $633 price point is about $16 million. Now, during epoch expansions, the protocol actually mints EMP, and then it distributes it proportionally to all the eShare holders. And this is only to the eShare holders that have staked their tokens in the boardroom. So eShare holders actually have voting rights, so they kind of have like a little bit of like governance control over this protocol because they have eShares. But at the end of the day, the team has 100% total control over all of the decisions that are being made, so just be aware of that as well. eShares' maximum total supply is 28,000, and this was distributed as follows. 2,200 went into the treasury and the DAO allocation, and those are vested linearly over 12 months. Then the team allocation was 2,000 eShares, and those are vested linearly over 12 months as well. At the peak, this was literally worth $300 million, because at one point when it first came out, eShares was trading at like $150,000. You can look at it on the deck screener. Absolutely insane. So the team can actually make decisions however they want. They have 100% control over all the decision-making processes. So that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about how eShares members have like voting rights. But what does that mean, right? It's the illusion of choice, right? It's a mirage. So take that with a little grain of salt. Now, there are only 24,752 of these in the contract, so that means almost 4K went somewhere. But where did they go? Did they go to the team? Did they go to investments? But even if that happened, if they were sold by somebody, they would still be in circulation, right? So it almost looks like they were burned. Okay, so let's move on to what E-bonds are. So E-bonds' main job is to incentivize changes in EMP supply during an epoch contraction period. When the TWAP, which is the time-weighted average price of EMP, falls below the peg, this is what happens. E-bonds are issued and then can be bought with EMP at the current price. So exchanging the EMP for the E-bond actually burns the tokens, which takes them out of circulation and helps to kind of like deflationarily move that price back up towards the peg. So then once that price moves back above that peg, E-bonds can be redeemed for EMP at that point, and that's where you profit. The lower the peg and the higher the premium or the TWAP, the greater the ROI once the peg gets above 4,001. There's 127,000 E-bonds and there's only 93 holders. If you go and look at the contract, the top 6 holders literally own over 63% of all E-bonds. So the top holder by themselves owns over 30% of all the E-bonds, and they've had them in their wallet for over 2 months. Okay, so really quick, let's go over the audit and the KYC. So they had 2 audits. One was by 0x Guard. So from what they say, there were no security concerns, but take this with like a grain of salt because it's not a Solidity audit or anything like that. So just take that for what it is. So then Rug Doctor did an audit, and this was not even close to a full audit. So how do I know this? Because if you look at the site, it literally says it is highly recommended that they conduct a full audit in order to fully assure their community, as these code bases tend to be large and complex with various risk vectors. Now, they also only did a few things. The review only covered 2 of their contracts, EMP ETH and EShare BNB. So it does not include the EShare ETH pair. They said that there was no hard rug code present, but again, take this with a little grain of salt because there was no actual full audit performed. Now here's an absolutely massive problem in my opinion. Tokens can be withdrawn by the dev 90 days after the pool end time, which is 1674514,800 plus 90 days. Whatever that means. So the KYC was literally just a tweet from 0x Guard. You can see that here. It says, we are happy to announce at EMP Money ETH completed KYC successfully. So, okay, what was your KYC? What did they do? 0x Guard checked the co-founder's ID and verified his identity. Yeah, those definitely can't be faked, guys. Like, there's no market for fake IDs. Oh, and by the way, you can't find the tweet unless you go into their white paper and click on the actual link. If you go to 0x Guard's Twitter and scroll back to the beginning of time, and then you try to search for this tweet, you can't find it. So now, with all that being said, will I be putting any money into EMP Money? Probably not. If I put any money into it, it would probably be in one of the more stable, 100 or 200 or 300% APYs that they have. I probably won't be going over to Yield Wolf, which, you would think, yeah, Drew's going to do Yield Wolf, right? No, we're not family. I don't know these guys. I would have to look a lot further into it to be comfortable with it. So don't follow me for good. Don't follow me for bad. I'm just the guy giving you the facts. I give you those numbers. I give you that Drew's secret sauce that everybody shows up for, right? I appreciate everybody showing up to the video. There are plenty more videos to come. The bomb that I wanted to drop is that I will likely be creating my own protocol. I am so tired of the DeFi space. I am so tired of the rug pulls. I am so tired of the absolutely diabolical amount of non-transparency. No one knows who's running protocols. No one knows what they're investing in. And when they do tell you what they're investing in, it is dog. So with that being said, if you want to get on that Wolfer Finance train, right? Because at the end of the day, I've reviewed enough of these protocols to know what sucks. I've reviewed enough protocols to know what does well, what works, what doesn't work. And I have enough of my own investments that I know what is working, what is printing money every single day. So just stay tuned. Let me know what you think. If I came out with a protocol that gives the ability for all average investors, I'm talking $500, right? That gives absolutely unequivocal transparency to who's running it, what are we doing, what are we investing in, and doesn't actually just take your money and throw it into oblivion, and it's actually pretty secure there, and you can get it back potentially, not only on ROI, but if you wanted to get out of the project, you could and recover your money. Is that something that you guys would like to see from me? I'm looking to gauge what the traction would be, what the support would be, and then put the money into things that are absolutely money printing machines. And I'm not talking Thor. I'm not talking Strong Block here, guys. I'm not talking Time Wonderland. I'm talking about tried and true projects that have been here, survived a bear market, still printing money, been here for half a decade, stuff like that, that it just takes more money to get into these, to get exposed to them, but at the end of the day, they are going nowhere. So let me know what you think. thank you for showing up to the video. If you got any value out of this video, please like the video, subscribe, bang on that notification bell like somebody just dished your mom, right? Comment anything that you want in the sections. Let me know what you think about a new protocol. I'm not really dropping too many hints until we gauge the market and then until I can actually kind of like get it out there and say, this is what we're gonna do. So with that being said, I appreciate you showing up to the video. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a good day, everyone.